so happy, my hair so nappy, had an afro, Jackson 5.
Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back. Yeah, I know. It's been a while since I've spoken to you guys, although you do know I haven't been well. And while I'm probably around 80 or 85% better, there's still, and I know you guys can hear it in my voice, there's still a lot of lingering going on there. I don't really do videos like this anymore because it's a pain, because I cough and I choke a lot because of the lack of air, and then I end up going back and spending 2 hours editing it, which I don't really like doing. So when I'm live, and I have been for the last few weeks, you guys are hearing me kind of struggle a little bit there. But look, I know you guys are patient and I commend you for it. Thank you very much. You guys are really supportive, love you like cook food. And so I thought, you know what, why not make a video today? What's the worst thing that can happen? So there's a few things I want to talk about. This first thing I want to talk about is Rio Ferdinand. Rio Ferdinand's come out and made comments today about Saka saying he's not world class. What do you deem world class? World class, is that not just subjective? Is that not everybody's opinion? That's what football's about, right? Football is a game about opinions. So what he says doesn't really matter. What he says is just his opinion. It doesn't mean anything. Because the facts are, and these are the facts, guys, that Saka is the youngest player in 40 years to hit 50 goals for Arsenal at the year and age that he is. In 40 years. So what does that tell us? That tells us players like that don't come along that often. And it really matters what Saka is actually doing. Now, you guys know, and this is really funny, when the game started over the weekend, about 5-10 minutes into the game, when West Ham was having a good spell, mind you, I said to Gary and Tony, and I said to both of them, I said, look, in my opinion, Saka hasn't dominated a game this season. You know where we just see him outright dominate games? He's been very productive, but he's not taken games by the scruff of the neck and just completely dominated. And this season, we've seen Arsenal's wingers getting double-teamed and completely taken out the game. Now, there's been a lot of adjustments that have been done since the training in Dubai, and what we've seen is better form from Martinelli, but better form from Saka. And Saka now has started to come into the box and get more involved. Because if you stay out there on the right all day long, you're just isolating your game from the impact of what's actually going on. And it's that isolation that has made him one-dimensional. You need to, as a winger and as a player, get more involved. And Saka's done that. Saka grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck, man. I mean, he was involved in everything. This looked like the Saka of old. But look, 12 goals, 13 assists. The guy's had a hand in 25 goals. Halfway through the season. There's only like a few players in Europe that can hold that esteem. Only a few. And you got to think to yourself, you know, the fact that this guy is years away from his prime. And not just that, guys. Rio Ferdinand talks about, he's not dying in the Champions League. Well, actually, he's been very productive in the group stages. I think there was only one other player in Europe that was as productive as Saka in the group stages. So he has been doing it in Champions League. But I know there's no longevity there and consistency is key. I get all of that. But in the international stage, look at his goals for England. Look at his displays for England. The guy's got like 8 man-of-the-match performances for his country. So you can't really say that he hasn't done it on the world scale. Yeah? He's the face of the franchise. He is the face of Arsenal. And he's literally the face of England. He is. Let's just face it, guys. When people want to go and see England play, it used to be like Harry Kane. Yeah? But Kane didn't have a great tournament the other day. And it's Saka. It's Saka, the guy that's been carrying the swing. He is the one that all the young footballers want to go and see play. And so I completely disagree with Rio Ferdinand, and in my opinion, Saka's world class. Because you have to name a fact that when you look at wingers around the world being that productive, you can name it on one hand at various clubs like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. You know, you can name the amount of players on one hand that is at that level. Yeah? That's as simple as that. So when you consider that there's around 5 players doing what he's doing, that is world class. So let me know what your opinions is, guys, in the comment section below. So talk about Ethan Nwaneri coming on, 16 years old, his second Premier League start. And the basis of that is really down to the fact that well done to Arteta for putting him on. But is it just Arteta? Look, we know it was Arteta's decision to put him on when he was 15, but there was a plethora of substitutions. I think the substitutions was bang on. The team sheet was bang on against West Ham. Arteta got a perfect 10 out of 10 for me. It's the first time he's had that all season long. And I think in that regard, you look at the players on the bench. We saw Ben White, we saw Jesus, we saw all the players, so a lot of players were saying, get him on. And it was Jorginho that walked up to Arteta and had a word in his ear. And, you know, don't you think this would be the best time, boss? And I thought it was a little bit too early, 76 minutes. I thought maybe the 85th minute or maybe the 82nd minute. Maybe give it time where you don't really throw it away. Because me, at the same time, I was thinking about goal difference. I'm like, it's 76 minutes gone. You cannot let a goal in to these guys, because if you do, first of all, it's going to hurt your goal difference and it's going to peg you down from Man City. Secondly, you're not the top defense in the league. Or you are, but you're joint with Liverpool, yeah? So there was a lot of things riding on it. So I was like, you know, maybe it's something that you want to hold on doing until another 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. But no, Arteta did it. He put him on, and didn't he look good? He looked all right, didn't he? Some nice touches, the runs, the movement. And I said to Gary and Emerson online, I said, look, he don't look like a winger to me. To me, he doesn't have that zip as a winger. I think, to me, he looks like a more central player. You know, remember all the stuff that we went through with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, where Wenger just solely played him on the right. Yeah, just completely on the wing. And by design, he was a central midfielder. And when he played for Liverpool, that's where Jurgen Klopp played him. And I know when he replaced Walcott, the goal tally just went down. Like, Theo was scoring 19, 20 goals a season. Oxlade-Chamberlain just didn't score any goals. I mean, it just wasn't... We fell off a cliff after he replaced Theo. But with Ranieri, I'd like to see him play more at the 8, you know, more centrally, maybe at the 10 as a facilitator. I'd really like to see that happen. But the sky's the limits for this guy, man. He didn't look out of place. I think that's the key to it. The key to it was in his performance. He didn't look out of place. He wasn't losing possession. And these are something which is key to young players. You know, you want to look at how do they assimilate themselves among these players in the squad. And he looked really good. So I'm expecting more from him. But anyway, guys, Champions League's coming back. Porto up next Wednesday. Big game. And big money to earn in there as well. Arsenal have already made over 70 million in the Champions League so far. Still more money to be made. And it's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be easy. They've been doing so well in their league. Hardly been losing any games. Well, same thing with Arsenal, really. But I just think that the way that we're playing, and you know, and remember, Porto, none of these Champions League teams gets the memo that you're supposed to double Martinelli and Saka. So we look actually better as a team playing in the Champions League than we do in the Premier League, because nobody's giving us low blocks. Teams are just coming out and playing us freely. So I'm fully expecting to go there and put in a good performance. And the key, guys, would be to not let a goal in and then get that away goal. That's going to be the key. We got to go there and score. And I'm thinking it's probably the perfect time to put Jesus back into the team if he can get fit for that game. Not so much Thomas Partey. Give Partey time. Don't rush him back. Same with Emil Smith-Rowe. Yeah, wasn't that a weird one? Oh, it's almost as weird as the one where he slipped in the shower and got injured. But look, the guy's just carrying that over his shoulder. Thankfully, because of the wealth of the squad, we don't worry about it anymore. We've not had Tomiyasu lately. We've not had Jesus. We've not had Partey. No Timber. No Fabio Vieira. No Smith-Rowe. We've not had a plethora of players, guys. And look at the performances. Could you imagine? Yeah? The thin squads of previous years would have capitulated under these amount of injuries. But thus, Arsenal are still there and thereabouts in the fight. And you've got to put that down to the fact that the squad is good and healthy. And you have to look at the things that are going on now. When Tomiyasu comes back, I'm expecting some good rotation there. Because for me, if you looked at the three players, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko and Ben White, Tomiyasu is better than all of them. And Timber's better than all of them in principle. So I think that when you look at it, we're only going to get better at wing back. At striker, you know I'm an Eddie Nketiah fan. He hasn't been playing lately. There's been a mixture of Havertz up front, who's making himself a major nuisance. And yeah, I know Eddie's a nuisance, but Eddie's a nuisance in that your defense can't sleep on him. Yeah, the defense is in trouble when Eddie Nketiah is in the room. You can't sleep on you. You have to play the ball quickly because otherwise he'll poach it off you. Yeah, and he'll shut down the goalkeeper. Havertz is a different beast. He's a body. He's a bully in the middle. And look how we got Konate sent off against Liverpool. He's a guy that defenses can't handle, even the best defenses. And so again, when he came on against Man City, who laid off the ball for Martinelli to put us 1-0 up? He was shielding 3 defenders, Havertz. People forget that. It isn't just lately that he's been playing well at the number 9 role. Granted, he's not scoring goals. Yeah, so maybe we're getting into the ML Heskey type of thing here, which I don't really want because Heskey wasn't a defender. Havertz is a proper defender. Yeah, he's someone who adds to the double pivot in the midfield. So, look, guys, I talked about Fellaini, didn't I? Everton, Man United. I talked about Fellaini, just a bully and a nuisance. And for me, that's what Havertz is. The fact that you got 5 goals out of him is a blessing. Yeah, and remember, everyone talk about Xhaka. Xhaka had 5 goals up till the last game of the season, then scored 2 against Wolves, ended up with 7. I think Havertz is going to match or beat that. And everyone was worrying about the goals, weren't they? Don't worry about the goals. Look at the display. Do the eye test. Watch what he's doing. Don't listen to people. Don't listen to the media. Don't listen to what the fans. Make up your own synopsis of what this guy's doing. Yeah? Make up your own ideas and your own opinion and views of what Havertz is doing. And he's given a lot. He's given a lot. And so there's things I expect to change in the summer. Obviously, I'm looking for us to go straight in for Osimhen. I'm looking for us to at least bag Neto. Neto's in the discussion. And Wolves are talking about 50, 60 million. There's Onana from Everton. I would love me some Onana. That's a 50 million target right there. Zubimendi and who's the other one? Frimpong and all those other targets. But I like Onana. I like what I see with Onana, man. So we're going to have to wait and see how that develops. But for me, Victor Osimhen, I would love some of him. I'd love Neto. I would love Onana. You bring in those 3 players, man, and you're changing hearts and minds. And keep Kiwior. Whatever you don't, I know there's 7 teams that have come in for Kiwior. Don't do nothing with Kiwior. Kiwior is to be kept. Did you see the tackle that he made on Kudos? And he ran him down 3 times on that side. And then when the ball was played into the middle for Kudos to tap it in, who was there? Yeah? Who was there to cut out that play? Kiwior is boss. Yeah? As a defender. So we're not losing that. So anyway, guys, lots of things. I just thought I'd touch base with you guys, let you know what my thoughts are about the current events of today with Arsenal. And listen, I'll catch up with you in the next one, man. Peace out, everybody. Subscribe to the channel. And we're over 9,000 subscribers, by the way. So welcome to all you new subscribers to 101. Peace out, guys. Speak to you later.
We made it this far, so I can't complain. Let's take a trip down